Okie dokie. Okay, so last session we left for Mayan and we're on the road back to Duras with our horses. When we started the session in mid combat, having pulled off the road because there was an owlbear being attacked by some gloomers, and we were kind of in the middle of that combat when we started the session. Um, let's see. There was a moment when Targvik went unconscious during that session and had a vision. He was in a sandy desert with no color and a man sitting at a table. And Tarvik asked if he's dead and asked about his wife and um, talked a little bit about that. Tarvik says it's not been the best few decades. Sadness is bound to happen, and my actions haven't made it much better. I chose not to move on. Many allow themselves to grieve, but unfortunately, I have just enough magic and power and stupidity to choose not to move on. Then the man asked him. I think basically the man was offering to bring back his wife in this conversation. Let's see. But Tarvik, I think, turned him down. I hope you don't take it as a slight.
I would think about it.
Okay. I hope you don't take this as a slight, but I hesitate to take an offer of a man without a name in a magic desert. And he said, they call me the one, but I am but all and everything. But Tarvik hears the rumbling of a storm, clouds behind him. The old man grimaces in disgust, and Tarvik says, I will think on it. Owl. Called him Owl instead of All. Which is funny. And the man just tells him to think of the possibilities. And they return. Tarvik's relentless endurance pulls him back up into combat, and we finish out. After combat, we help the owlbear. We try to feed a little bit. It's friendly to us, and we decide to take it to Mr. Magic Michael Dune as a pet. And I think we named it Alan Bear, which is wonderful. Let's see. And then we just made a list of different things to do in Duras. Once we get there, including check on Roland's family, give the owlbear to Mr. Magic Michael Dune, turn in the bag of heads and get paid. Kill a couple in the cult and investigate the orphanage. I don't know if I meant to say kill a specific couple in the cult or just kill a couple of cult members. I'm not sure why I wrote down kill a couple in a cult. It's been 6 weeks. I'm sorry. And then check out the Shadow House. What we suspected of smuggling and trafficking people. And I just wrote down how many heads we have. And the owlbear follows us, and we head back to Duras. But a few hours later, we are ambushed. We see some people coming near us with horses. They veer off, and we talk to them a little bit, and they attack us. And the horses die. I like those horses, but our horses are dead. Yeah. Very sad. Mm-hmm. There's a man with an individual on the last horse, hooded with a pale gaunt hand, that says something in a language no conscious person can understand. The magic guy's name is Zaladan, and he calls... Probably, yeah. I'm mad. And he calls the hooded figure Drogo. Underneath his breath, he says Iris, which we know is Alaria's name. And Tarvik falls into a deep slumber. He says to Cromwell, her old friend, and he charms Cromwell. Let's see. They chuck the winged sword to the ground and disappear. Let's see. Sid,
everyone was unconscious at that point, right?
I think so.
Everyone's unconscious.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone was unconscious. Yeah,
and maybe Cassandra is dead.
Possibly
at that point.
Yeah.
At that point in time.
Yeah. So we don't. I guess we didn't know this, but Gill showed up. We see him adjust something on our finger. He looks to Jack. The potion didn't work for Cassandra. Cassandra might be dead. They took the eye. Tarvik checks, and it's not in his body. The sword vibrates, and we hear Ilaria's laugh. The sword breaks, and the pieces shoot into Cassandra, and Cassandra has a vision of the Raven Queen. I think at that point, the sword is gone, the eye is gone, but everyone is awake and technically alive, though quite damaged. And we pile up on Jack and Gill's wagon. Gil has a ring for invisibility, but we pile up on it and we head towards Duras. And that's where we ended the session. The owlbear, I think, is following us. Owlbear was fine.
Yeah.
Who's our buddy? But we told him to stay in the forest.
You saw glimpses in the distance of him kind of shooting out in the dark. Every now and again. All right. Anything else to add for recap? Cool. I think you guys covered most. So we'll go into the session for today. You guys have just finished piling onto the wagon, and you have some slight reprieve. You guys were exhausted, and so you're feeling quite tired, especially after your last encounter, being bombarded with very high level magic, being overwhelmed to the point of almost dying. You come to consciousness. Jack has offered to take you guys to Duras. He's heading that way. He came from Parabor, and so all of you are in his wagon, traveling. It is roughly... What time? Roughly super early in the morning, like 4 a.m.-ish, where it's still dark, but you know the morning is soon to come. In your time of exhaustion, after you have just piled onto the wagon, what do you guys do?
I think Cassandra, I don't remember if she did this last episode. She borrowed some paper from Roland, I think.
Okay. Sure.
And is just writing down like a list of people. The Whispered One, Drogo, Zalishdan, all necromancers. And just writes no mercy. Then she passes out. Not like unconscious, but sleep.
Goes to sleep. Yeah, she's tired.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Cassandra goes into sleep.
Yeah, Rita is... we might just be everyone going to sleep and long resting, but Rita will take the time to pull out Puck and... pull out Puck and pluck a little Song of Rest. So if we short rest, people can get some extra hits.
At this point in time, you try to do your Song of Rest, and for some reason, your instrument feels out of tune, and it doesn't quite give you what you're expecting. Your Song of Rest fails.
Pick? You okay, buddy?
You hear nothing in response.
Oh boy. Shake the guitar. Pick!
No response. You shake and shake. You shake it off and nothing happens.
Rita has other instruments, but she has completely forgotten about doing a Song of Rest and is like kind of panicking. Oh no.
You okay, Rita?
No, Pick is gone. Or is mad at me again.
That's true. It's hard to tell with him. He's so finicky.
Okay. Well,
this is bad.
Be okay.
This is not. This is. Pick? Is Pick dead? I mean, Pick is here. This is Pick. I shake the guitar some more.
As hard as you shake, as many times as you shake, there is unfortunately no response from him.
If he can disappear so quickly, then maybe he can come back quickly too. Maybe. I don't know if that's helpful or not, but
I'm just gonna. I think I should just sleep. I should just rest. I should get my spells back, and then I can message him and send to him, and then he can tell me what's going on, and hopefully he's okay. He's never been out of tune before.
it's a good plan.
What about Roland? What happens after you talk to Rita?
Roland's exhausted, but absolutely does not want to take his eyes off his party. So I think he's going to. I think he has a long rest, so he's gonna start to meditate and just find a comfortable position and try to recover. Start to long rest.
Okay, and what about Tarek? Tarek, you might be on mute.
Sorry, I was on mute there. Yeah, I think Tarvik sits there for a little bit, just staying up, thinking about what's all happened over the last, really, probably just a couple of hours, even. And eventually seeing that, like, Cassandra is back asleep, I'm gonna take off the necklace or excuse me, not the necklace, the amulet of proof against detection and location, and slip it back around Cassandra, who originally had it, I think. And probably just lightly, at this point, I would imagine almost everyone else is asleep. Just kind of lightly mumble, like, didn't do any good. And then probably just try to roll over and get some rest.
Right. You all fall to sleep as the wagon wheels turn beneath you. Quietness from Jack and Gill as they head towards Duras with you in tow. As your sleep envelops you, I'll say you guys can go ahead and take that long rest. Officially hit that button, and you level up as well to level 10. So you can go ahead and change your stats right now. While you guys are doing that, I will talk to two of you. The first being Cassandra.
Okay.
So Cassandra, as you go to sleep, it is black immediately. You're exhausted. You're tired. You've gone through an ordeal. And in that darkness, you feel a dream come to you. The darkness slowly fades to a twilight, and you are standing on cool grass with the wind slightly blowing, the breeze being chill, yet comfortable. During this twilight, you see a distant figure sitting by a dark lake, the shadows outlined by the twilight light. What little exists here. The lake is on a hill, which is the foreground of a sprawling dark landscape, with beyond plains, valleys, mountains, and one particular imposing mountain in the distance, with a castle built on its rockscape. The figure, outlined by the twilight light behind her, you see dark wisps of shadow slowly begin to coalesce. She seems to be seemingly unaware. You see her hair caress her body as she reaches down into the pond and waves her hand as if searching for something. You see the shadow and the wisps begin to coalesce faster, aggressively, into a mass of tall and lean, imposing skeletal figure. A structure of darkness emanating with malice. You see a glowing red and orange eye on the left eye as the darkness moves towards her silent. What do you do?
I want to. Is it kind of dark where we are?
It is, yes.
I want to try and sneak towards her.
Okay. You try and sneak towards her, and as you begin to move your feet silently, you feel that you are stuck to the ground. You look below at your feet, and you see a skeletal hand wrapped around your ankle. What do you do?
I get really angry, and I try and stab at the hand with my short sword.
You reach for your short sword, and you stab down at it, and as you do, the blade touches the skeletal hand. It seems as though the skeletal hand surges and multiplies as multiple skeletal hands now begin to pour out from the pierce that you made and start to climb across your sword and grab onto it as it starts skittering up towards your hand.
I call out to the Raven Queen, "Give me strength!"
You yell for the Raven Queen, and you feel a skeletal hand cover your mouth as you scream out with silence, nothing permeating the air. You feel yourself trapped, the hands now enveloping your own, as you feel multiple of them multiplying across your arm and now covering your body, your mouth, your face. Your vision is starting to become obscured with the hands blocking your vision. The last thing that you see as these hands envelop your entire being is the shadow overtaking the sitting figure. And in that moment, the figure looks towards you, and a single teardrop glistens off the pale face as the tear falls without a sound into the dark lake, as the body shortly follows, limply. The deluge of decaying hands multiply and cover the ground from which you stand and start surging toward the castle beyond. I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. Not a strong suit. 11.
With an 11, you are going to take 13 points of psychic damage as you wake up in a cold sweat. It's still nighttime, or at least it's still dark, and you kind of take a look around and you see everyone asleep around you.
I want to try and draw the mountain with the castle in the person's face. Just so I can share it later. Yeah.
Absolutely. You did not see a face because it was in shadows. However,
oh right.
The castle, I will find a picture of that kind of resembles what I was basing this off of. I will find it later
Yeah, no
Because
rush.
I don't have it off the top of my head right here. I might
Okay.
have to download it into the game.
Just in case it's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Image of castle. Very cool. Um,
And then I'll go back to sleep.
right.
Nervously.
And then we shift to Tarvik. Tarvik, you also fall into a dream state. Familiar sands greet you as they whip against your body. This time, it's not calm. There seems to be a bit of a wind in the air, taking the granules of sand and blowing them across. You see before you again a table, and an old man with kind eyes, looking towards you, awaiting, and gesturing for you to sit down once more. What do you do?
I think Tarvik kind of gets it at this point. It's just he'll kind of move quickly. Maybe not understanding this place or like even understanding all of the concepts of this place, but will make his way over to the chair.
Mm-hmm. As you sit down, the old man says to you, "Have you thought more on our previous discussion?"
I have. There, your agreement, as you set forth, is obviously, as you said, you would want nothing in return, but I would receive both my wife and daughter back, correct?
Nothing of consequence. Correct.
There, in order to make such an agreement with such a person, Al, there would have to be at least one more item on the list.
You can see a little
One that I
forming on his face.
You see, this is difficult to explain when, I suppose, my wife were to come back. Certain, and especially my daughter would come back, certainly my wife would have questions about how it happened, what happened to our daughter, things of that nature. And in order for me to honestly tell her I took care of it and the problem is done, would mean certain people, certain groups of people, maybe even, would have to be taken care of completely.
And you are asking for them to be, in your words, taken care of.
Not by you. I would not ask that. I would only ask that. Actually, maybe this is reaching too far in the outside world. Do you think it's reasonable for Tarvik to make some assumptions about certain groups, I guess?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, I, out of character, have some ideas, and I don't know if Tarvik has those ideas or not, about, let's say, the connections between the Eye and the group that kidnapped his daughter and things like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's up to you. You can have whatever assumptions you want for Tarvik.
Okay. Yeah. Then I would say, and then I think, Tarvik is, he's not the smartest character in this group, but he is certainly smarter than some of my other characters in other groups. So I think that he would just say, I would just need you to allow me, if the time came, to take care of those groups as needed.
Very interesting. What if I were to tell you that by nature of making a deal with me, of which you offer up nothing of consequence, would in turn take care of those of which you speak of? It would be a non-issue, some would say. It is quite a deal that I am proposing to you.
I am well aware. It is the magic involved in even a single of these resurrections is considerable. Again, though, there is a difference between what you said, them becoming a non-issue, and me being able to tell my wife that they've been taken care of. So are you saying that once this is done, in simple terms, they will no longer be alive?
I cannot make any promises to their state of being, but I could promise you that you could fully tell your wife that they are taken care of.
All right. I think
Perhaps
I'm gonna do a thing. Oh, go ahead.
I shall offer you a bit of my benevolence and proof, if you will. Me smiles warmly, that I do indeed have the power to follow on my word. Think on and remember the ones lost that you wish were in your company. And he kind of gestures with his eyebrows as if for you to think about them.
So he said, think about people I've lost that were previously in my company.
Think about the ones that you lost that you wish were in your company.
Oh, wish. Okay. I mean, I think the obvious thing was obviously his wife, but I don't feel like that's probably the right one. I think.
Well, do you
Tarvik
think Tarvik
probably
thinks of her?
I think if you say if he phrases it like that, people he wishes were around, the list quickly goes wife and daughter, and then immediately after those two, it starts going into like some past adventuring party people. But like there's a if we're thinking about this in like terms of thought, it's immediately wife and daughter, and then there's a pause for a moment as he like tries to make a longer list of people.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's time in between.
Yeah. Immediately when you think of your wife and daughter, go ahead and describe them for us.
Yeah.
What comes to Tarvik's mind as he thinks about them?
I think naturally, like when Tarvik imagines his wife, he imagines her probably younger than when she died. He imagines her like probably like maybe like a year or so into their marriage, just like in a moment where they were both just kind of each working on their own little projects on the side, independently working, but working together nonetheless. And just kind of looked over in a moment, and the light just hit her right. So you saw this. I should actually get up my character descriptions for these people. Give me a second. because I forget a lot of things about people that weren't involved. So give me 1 second here.
Absolutely. Glad you're pulling up your notes. I have to do it constantly.
So I think like you see Tarvik's wife, obviously a human, probably obviously shorter than Tarvik just because of just the differences in their um races. Um kind of like auburn, almost red hair that kind of trails down her back, kind of braided very loosely um down with a very plain outfit, a leather apron kind of on the front of her, um and everything like that. As for his daughter, Lily, um, I think he would imagine her older, probably. Probably not quite her age that she was when she left, but probably like a few years before that. Um, and she obviously has not quite green skin, but like a very pale skin. Hair kind of similar to her mother's. Um, not quite as long, obviously. And you can just see just coming out the front a little bit of an overbite. Just getting that little bit of orc side from Tarvik. Um, like I said, she's probably like 14 or 15 in his memory. But obviously she would be like a little bit older than that now.
Perfect. Give me a moment, a memory, where you were with both of them.
With both of them,
Mm-hmm.
well, that would have been Lay passed away when she was when Lily was very young. So like the memory would probably be uh probably very early on. Um Lily had just like kind of gone down and was like quietly resting in the little makeshift crib that they had beside the bed. And just um him and Lay were just kind of like looking down, admiring this like moment of peace in a house that is usually very busy with um a crying child or what they were working on or various things like that. Just admiring this small bit of peace in this moment
Perfect.
at night.
That memory comes alive, not in your head, but next to the table that you are sitting at. You see that exact imagery where you feel as though your wife and your child are tangible. That memory then evolves into what would be like a time lapse sort of situation where they have now turned into kind of what they would be in their present day selves as kind of a mirage. And the old man kind of gestures to the side as if he can see exactly what you're seeing and says, "Very sweet. A loving family memory. And what could be in the future," as he points and gestures to the mirage that kind of indicates what could be the potential future. And you see this memory just kind of loop in front of you as you're talking with the old man. What is happening inside of Tarvik's mind? How is he thinking? How is he feeling?
Oh, Tarvik's a little bit like this is a strange thing. Like Tarvik obviously knows the power of magic, He knows that all of these things are, in theory, very possible. But Tarvik is constantly trying to poke holes in things and trying to find, like, what's the matter? Kind of almost I would say it's almost just from like a several decades of just feeling guilty all of the time. It's the Catholic guilt idea of like,
Yeah.
this is a beautiful sunset. I'm gonna pay for it in hell, kind of thing. So I think that, like, Harvick is trying to pick it apart and just be trying to question things and just be like, his daughter probably, that's probably pretty close. But I mean, his wife shouldn't have aged. She's been dead. Things like that.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna make I'll make just to the GM so I'm gonna make a little save to see if Harvick has just this internal strength to just kind of say no in this moment.
Sure.
Ooh, I was hoping for a bigger difference in those. I'm gonna say
Your call.
just out of interest, unless you say otherwise. I think Tarvik is gonna start, like, slowly, ever so slowly, reaching out his hand
Yeah. No, absolutely go for it. As
and
you
just say,
start to slowly...
as long as you keep your promise.
Oh, like towards the old man.
Oh, towards the old man, not
Okay.
towards them, because I think Tarvik realizes, like, that's an image, that's not real, kind of thing.
I see. Okay.
But
As you
Mhm.
reach out your hand, he smiles warmly at you and says, "The only thing, again, inconsequential that you must offer to me is to go home. Go home
home.
to the home your family and you enjoyed your lives together. And enjoy the rest of your life there. As you know, magic takes some time, especially one that resurrects and alters, one that does not bastardize what has been resurrected. In time, your loved ones will appear. I will deliver them to you. Not long will you then be living your life in happiness, together once again. But you must go home and stay home and leave your traveling companions.
I see. That is reasonable, and in one way or another, once I got my daughter back, at the very least my daughter back, I either would be in a place that would be my new home, an eternal home, or I would be going home. And I always felt as if I would be going closer to the eternal home than to the place I called home before.
As this conversation bit is happening, you again feel the storm brewing and rumbling behind you. You feel the energy of electricity as if it was trying to target the table where you sit along with this man. The force of energy is just beaming towards this area. You feel it just crackling and coursing through. You feel tenseness. As you feel this, go ahead and make a save for me. Go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw.
I'll do this one public.
Yeah.
25.
Very high. As you make the save, you feel the lightning is angry. And you felt this anger before from your god. And you know it's him trying to reach out to you. His anger is coursing through you, and it is making you angry. And it's making you feel angry towards the old man. There is animosity, and there is ill feelings that seem to be targeted towards the old man. And yet, though there is anger towards you as well, you feel as if this anger is directed towards your current actions. You feel as though your god is trying to tell you something, that what you are doing is not a good idea. With a high roll like that, I'll let you know that. That's how you feel. And as you feel this, and as you start to understand the feeling, you hear and a lightning bolt actually strikes directly into the middle of the table. The table is split in half, separating you and the old man, as the char remains start to smolder a bit. And you see the old man smile a bit as he smirks and says, "It seems I've upset someone." And you can see he seems to be having a little bit of enjoyment from this. And then he turns to you directly as his smirk kind of fades. And he goes back into kind of like a sincere mode as he looks towards you directly in the eyes and says, "Well, it seems I'm being pushed out." As the storm coalesces even more and grows closer and closer towards you. "I'll be here." And he starts to fade away as rain starts to fall down from the skies, and in that rain, his image dissipates. You're just left in a rainstorm, thundering, lightning all around you, as a immense wall of rain just continues to pummel down you. And it's cold. And that coldness kind of jars you awake a little bit. You're not fully awake, but you're out of your reverie and you're out of this dream. You look around, it seems like you're still traveling. You want to try something?
I don't know if I could do this. Yeah, I don't know if this is possible or not. Kind of knowing like the rain might wake me up, things like that. Can I try to stay in the dream?
Yeah.
And have a conversation with the rain?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a force of will. Let's do charisma. Charisma save.
Okay, that's not my worst one. Natural 20.
You feel yourself kind of being drenched in this coldness as it goes down into your bones. You so badly want to wake up, but you force yourself. Your will remains as you remain here.
Right. I think kind of I'm not going to yell out just because I don't want to disturb any of my neighbors if they just suddenly hear me yelling. I think Tarvik will start yelling out into the rain. Just saying something along the actually we'll go into character and we'll just say, "So from one bad choice into another, I see. Obviously, you're not approving of what I'm doing." if I don't get any, I don't know if I get a response to that or not.
Yes, no
If I don't get a
response.
response, okay, still just heavy rain, heavy thunder,
Very
things like
heavy
that.
rain. Nothing has changed in terms of the conditions.
I think I'll call out again and be like, at this point, I'm running out of options. The only even close thing that I have to finding my daughter outside of this is trying to find the random guy that I saw a long time ago and hoping that he knows. I don't have options. So unless you're providing me any, I'm going with bad decisions.
The rain continues to fall on your face as there is silence to your outcry.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think Tarvik just needed to get that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that.
Yeah.
So as you say this, timing-wise, actually, I think as you're mumbling this, or as you're saying this, you actually end up mumbling this out loud because you kind of forced yourself to stay in, yet you're kind of in that limbo where you were about to wake up, and so you are actually kind of mumbling this in your sleep as you talk out loud. And Cassandra, when you woke up from your dream, you would have woken up exactly at the same time where Tarvik's kind of mumbling, so you kind of hear what he's saying. He's shouting in his dream. All you hear is him mumbling the words that he mentioned, him speaking to his god.
I'll just kind of shake him awake. Tarvik.
Yeah,
Tarvik.
I think that I'll wake up. It's kind of maybe with a little bit extra of a jolt.
Yeah.
But I'm awake.
Are you okay?
Probably. Yeah. Kind of gently begins rubbing his eyes a little bit.
I think we fucked up.
You should go back to sleep. What'd you say?
You mentioned a bad decision. Was it us? Was it our...
No, it wasn't you.
We'll make it right.
Oh. Yeah, that's not... I don't know. I don't know anymore. Why don't we go to sleep? We'll talk about it in the morning. Well, after we're rested. Because I would imagine at this point, like, the sun is actively rising because we were, like, fighting at night and everything, but...
Just actually talk about it. I think you're bottling it too much up.
I'm fine.
You can't bottle lightning.
But you can try.
All right, good night.
Mm-hmm. Kind of curl back up.
All right, so you guys finish your rest, and you start to wake up with the full warmth, quote unquote, of the sun. It's still quite chilly as we are around fall / going into winter weather. So you wake up, the sun is high in the sky. All of you are still in the wagon, rolling towards Duras. As you wake up, Rita, you hear in your mind a very kind of panicked Pick voice. I don't what she's sleeping and she can't hear me. Why can't she hear me? She thinks I'm dead. What? I'm not really dead. What the fuck just happened over there? I mean, why can't she hear me? What's going on?
Pick! I can hear you.
Rita?
Are you there? Are you alive? Where did you go? What happened?
Where did you go? I was talking to you and you couldn't hear me.
Rita just like starts crying.
You all wake up. Rita's in tears.
What's wrong?
I thought you were dead. I thought you were gone. I thought she took you away. Oh my god! I thought you were mad at me.
No,
I didn't die.
there was crazy shit.
Crazy. What crazy shit?
You almost died.
Yeah, I did.
Everyone almost died. And those guys, they were talking some real crazy shit.
What did they say?
Well, you didn't hear them. Oh, of course you didn't. You were almost dead. And then he'll actually go and recap. Pick saw everything. Pick heard everything. And so he recaps to Rita everything.
Amazing.
So good.
Amazing.
Rita, what's going on?
Rita retells the story of last night, and like really going into like, you know, just verbatim like Pick and embellishing on her own what happened and how stupid the guy looked as he like threw the sword into the ground and how incompetent he is, and then for doing that, and then Rita feels a little silly because she lost to people that were that incompetent, and oh gosh, this is bad.
Rita, actually go ahead and make me... I'll say give me an intelligence check with disadvantage. Don't know the full story, but maybe if the dice are on your side, maybe you'll get a little bit.
I have my own ideas about like what might be happening there, so
Okay.
yeah.
You guys wake up and hear the recap from Pick through Rita as you guys are going along your day. Anything special that you guys want to do or talk to each other RP-wise? Otherwise, we will fast forward this, as there won't be anything that happens.
I want to show everyone the picture of the castle and tell them my dream.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
And say I think the Whispered One is attacking the Raven Queen, and it's because he has the eye now, and it's all our fault, and we're gonna make it right because we're gonna kill every single necromancer.
As many times as it takes.
Thank you, Roland.
Yeah.
Does anyone recognize this castle?
I look
You
at the
recognize
castle.
that
Do I
castle?
recognize it?
You guys do not recognize it, no. You would not.
Sorry, Cassandra.
Let me do images and check. Nope.
Well, if we see this, we need to go there.
Let me do it in Discord.
We need to go there, you think?
Yes. I think that's where the Whispered One is.
Similar to that, ish.
Cool.
Did it
Yeah, that
look like-
doesn't look super fun.
Based on our
Like,
drawing,
the-
did
The
you get to the
landscape,
shadow?
though, like the sky is a little bit less dark like that, but that general scape, like valleys, mountains, and then this one that has like a castle / towers on top.
Does
I mean,
it
look
look
at it.
like?
He's gotta
Does it
live
look like
there.
the Shadowfell?
It has similar vibes, yeah. But you don't remember seeing a tower here, or a tower when you went.
Yeah, that didn't work out for us great last time, but
Mm-mm.
Maybe that's a Raven Queen's palace and he's there and he's hurting her.
maybe.
Pick and the Raven Queen seem tied together. Does he know?
Seem tied together, and does he know?
Yeah. So Rita will like look at the will like take the drawing and like sort of hold it up like pick. Do you recognize this?
That's where I came from. Kind of.
That's so cool. So it is Shadowfell.
Do you think we
Did
should
you
go
come from the
back there?
What was the question, Rita?
Do you think we should go there?
Nope, we should definitely not go back. Please, let's not go back.
Why not?
We don't want to go back. I like it up here. It's fun up here. There's
That makes sense.
sunshine. There's green stuff. There's colors. It's all dark over there.
Rita, can Pitt clarify? He said it's where he came from. Does he just mean where he was stuck in the Shadowfell, or was he originally from there?
Yeah, pick. What do you think? Is it like? Is that where you just got stuck, or
Where I
is
met
that where
you
you're
guys,
from?
yeah.
But it's not where you're from.
Mhm.
It's not like some piece of the Fae that got stuck into the Shadowfell somehow.
Mm-mm.
Can you ask Pick who else lives there?
So
Pick-
many things.
Yeah.
You say it again.
So many things.
So many. But at the castle specifically, is it someone's castle? Does someone rule that castle?
Mm-hmm.
Also there?
Yeah, Pick just went, You can tell
Mm-hmm.
by his answers, he's answering you guys, but he's not providing more information. He just answers, like, as if he's slightly uncomfortable with the topic. He doesn't want to elaborate, but he's answering.
Okay, so not that he can't answer, like magic's not preventing him, he's just uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, you get that feeling based on the short answers. At least Rita would get that feeling.
I was busy. We cannot hear Pick. Is that correct?
Correct.
Or can
Yeah.
we?
This is all
Rita
Okay.
is translating again.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, maybe eventually we need to get there, but it would seem we have more pressing, immediate things to do right now. Are we still going to Duras and completing our list, or do we need to make it to our Raven friends?
I mean, the necromancers, I think at this point it's pretty clear that they are based out of Bernolder at this point.
They were with dwarves from Bernolder. There was something that Tarvik said about being able to start a war really easy. Not Tarvik. Cromwell said about being able to start a war really easily. There was I feel like we're heading toward Bernolder. We can maybe just go to the Shadowfell and try to go to the castle. Pick doesn't think that's a good idea. I don't know what we would accomplish what we would actually accomplish in the Shadowfell trying to get there. Vecna has the eye. That's what you said, Cassandra, right?
He has to.
Did he take the eye into the Shadowfell? Is he somewhere else? Like, we don't know really what's going on. Really.
I mean, it
We do
could
not.
be like a metaphor or something, but him
Cassandra,
having the eye.
Based on your
Okay.
dealings with the Raven Queen, everything she has ever said to you has been a metaphor.
Yeah. She doesn't like just being literal with things, so it's probably a metaphor. Which means him having the eye directly hurts her, and she's mad at me probably and sad. She's probably disappointed, like, she's a queen and a mom probably, so she's probably really disappointed. We fucked up. We can't let them have the hand.
You think she's a mom? Pick, is
Mother
the Raven
Queen?
Queen a mom?
Queen is that like another word for like she's mom of her realm.
So, first time disappointing a god, Cassandra. I understand.
Yeah.
I get you.
Wait, what did you do?
Oh, probably a lot. But that's fine. You
had something to talk about, right?
Yeah, after we get to Duras, I think I might just go home.
What? Why?
I don't, I mean, we just spent 20, I don't know, probably not 20 minutes, real time, but a decent amount of information talking about castles and weird places and stopping cults, and the whole time if I'm honest, I don't know, none of that concerned me at all. I feel like if I just go home, all of my problems would just kind of go away.
I slapped Tarvik.
Yeah, what about the vision that you had with your daughter? When we had her cloth
probably
and we
just
did the
takes it.
scrying mirror?
Oh,
and...
man, Tarvik.
Yeah. It's only gonna get sadder, folks. It's okay. Yeah, like Tarvik will like that's a long lead, Cassandra. That was to find a guy who kidnapped her years ago at this point. I don't know. I just think maybe it's time I just accept the music and realize that she's not going to be able to be saved. And I just be like everybody else. Go home and accept the loss.
But even your home could be destroyed if we let these necromancers keep going. They're tearing apart kingdoms.
It's, yeah, the northern nations, yeah. But I'm quite a bit farther south, and
How long do orcs live?
maybe a bit.
Half orcs.
If orcs,
You're
probably
kind.
not much longer. Half orcs. That's a great question that I have to look up real quick.
Yeah. Whatever it is, the necromancers will be in the south in your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 75 years. I think I put. How old did I make Tarvik? I think I put him at 48. So, I mean, I've lived a pretty hard life. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I have 20, 25, 27 more years in me.
The point is that your home is not safe. Even right now, we've heard rumors of things happening in Waterdeep and probably all across the continent. This is not limited to here.
I'm sure it's not. But again, it's hard to describe. When I was young, I had a lot of that drive to help the world and make it a better place and things like that. But over time, with wisdom and thought, you
become selfish.
Slowly get to a point.
Become a coward. Run away from everything. Run away from your friends. How? What is wrong with you?
You tell him, Rita.
So much.
You hear pick in your head.
More than you can really even understand. But
would your daughter be proud of you if you walked away from this? Is that what you think? You just want
I
to give
don't
up?
even know if my daughter would be proud if I didn't. I don't know.
You don't know
just-
your daughter.
Just a thought. We still have time. We have a few hours, days until we get to Duras. And at the very least, I want to get rid of all of these. I just pat the probably like 5 or 6 sacks full of heads here.
Just decaying heads.
Yeah. Before I go back, I'll need
Perfect.
I could probably
Those heads.
make do with my
Those
yes,
heads.
those heads.
Do you think that
Mhm.
just anyone out there can kill these creatures and make the impact that we have over the last few weeks of just keeping people safe and doing things? Like, we need you. We need everyone that can contribute to this.
I don't know. I'm sure you're right. But the truth is, right? How many of these have we fought? Right?
I think we have 29 heads in that sack.
29 heads, 3 skeleton wizard heads, and I think I have one more. No, I just have another head sack. Yeah. There's quite a bit in here. I understand. But here's what I know. Wherever they come from, wherever we can't find where they originate from, they just keep coming. Kind of regardless of how many we kill.
Not if we stop them. This is not an impossible task.
I don't think it's not. I think it's possible. I think that if you found the right person, maybe it is possible. But I don't.
Can we try to insight to see if Tarvik's giving the whole truth here?
Yeah.
I slap Tarvik again when he says you find the right person.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
There's so many
Tarvik
slaps.
again just takes the slap.
Oh man. You can go ahead and roll what you want to roll. Tarvik against.
I don't know what
insight.
you know what? I'm gonna. Yeah. You know what? Either way, I'm gonna need a natural 20 to succeed, regardless of what I roll. So I'm gonna roll deception because I don't know if Tarvik fully knows what he's not telling or what he is telling, but yeah.
Make these public for.
Oh shoot!
Oh,
no! Oh yeah, I did.
Well, so.
I feel. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that does, but
okay. So here's my thought process on this. When you're trying to do something, the person who is going against you, if they meet your roll, they beat your roll. But I have conflicting feelings about that because you just got a natural 20, and I feel like that means something.
I agree. I think if you're okay with this, Cassandra, I say we just do a re-roll and we accept the new results.
Yeah, I was thinking another roll just because.
Okay.
I would originally say if you meet it, you beat it, but that natural 20. Oof.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Wow. These are
Very
wild.
Cassandra's got a lot on her mind already, and doesn't think Tarvik would lie. Just,
This is a wild.
I mean, I don't think Tarvik's like telling somewhat truths, right? Like these are
it's
truths.
just you not telling the whole story, right?
Right. There's a very large man with a table part that he's not saying a lot about.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe actually, how long do we have until we get to Duras? Like how many is it days, hours?
I think at this point you have maybe like a day left.
Okay.
Or two. Regardless, we're gonna fast forward, but probably like a day-ish.
Okay. I will say, I mean, I guess I'll think about it. If that's what you need, but I've been thinking about this a lot recently. And I think it might be the right call.
Tarvik, everyone, I died back there. Whatever Pick said with the sword shards jumping into me, that's what woke me up. Not the potion. And there was a dream with the Raven Queen, and she said, children, child, which Tarvik, we need to go see about those orphans. Maybe stick with us through that. Could you do that?
Don't. I need to think about it. But maybe let's get to Duras first. Let's get paid for our various completed tasks, and then we can kind of go from there.
We need you. I died twice now. I'm gonna die some more. I need you to make me not die.
I didn't help you not die either of those times.
But you helped me not die
So.
plenty of other times.
And Cassandra, you would notice the amulet around you as you woke up.
Oh, did you do this, Tarvik?
It didn't work out, and I felt like you needed it more than I did.
See, we need you.
Just kind of gives a little shrug, I guess.
If you give up on your daughter, don't give up on us. You could leave us and we'd die. You want that on your conscience?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll think about it. Just kind of sits back in the cart. Probably is just quiet for a lot of the rest of the trip. I will say, because this is going to take multiple days. If there's anything else we want to talk about, we can do that. But I will do one more thing before we get to town.
Okay. Well, let's pause on the conversation and pick this up after our break. So we are back in session, and you guys were kind of talking about a few different things before I paused for a break, so you guys can continue your conversations.
How does Jack, and I assume Gill's invisible, but he's there, right? How does Jack feel about our conversations?
You realize, now that you are kind of out of your conversations and you look towards him, he seems to be just facing up front, handling the horses and looking around. So what's your passive perception? Let me pull that up.
My passive perception is 15. Yep.
Yeah, you would be able to tell. So you can tell he's aware. So you probably think he's heard your conversations. He's also being vigilant, looking out and around.
But I just wave my hands until I find Gill. I just want to know where he is.
Yeah, you bump into him. He's riding right next to Jack. Okay. And when you feel his body, you can actually tell that he's facing you guys.
Okay. I'll just convey that.
You touch his abs.
Sure. Yeah, it's not awkward at all. Sure. Yeah. Thank you for coming, Jack. How did you know where we were?
Oh, yeah. What was his voice again? Stoner guy. Surf's up, dude. Okay, so, he does not say that. That's for me to get into his voice. Yeah, well, it was on my way to Duras, dude, and, I saw things, like a battle happening, and I was making my way up here, and then all of a sudden, those dudes were gone, and then I came up and I saw you guys just on the floor. It was not good, dude.
What battle did you see?
Your battle. I was
Oh,
coming up
okay.
and I saw shadows fighting. Like, you know how in the distance you can see when things, like when people are fighting. That's what he's alluding to.
Oh, sorry. Like I thought you were just talking about your like journey from before. That makes sense. Sorry.
I mean, good thing I came along. You guys were not in good shape. I think you died. He's like looking to Cassandra. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not good.
I
It's
mean,
not a fun time.
adventuring's really hard, guys. And, I don't mean to pry, but, I heard what you were talking about before, and he looks towards Tarvik. I honestly don't think it's a shame, or it's shameful to stop. If you feel like that's right for you, my dude, I stopped, and it was the best decision I ever made. It's dangerous. And he looks towards you guys. You all know that. It's up to the person whether they want to continue or not. And my dudes,
You mean whether they want to betray their best friends and run away and not even know if we succeed or die? Yeah, that's totally a cool thing to do to your friends.
I'm just saying, sometimes people stop and they think it's best for them, and my dude, go with your heart.
Tarvik will give like a little bit of a nod to that. He's mostly just been quiet the rest of the trip, I would imagine. But yeah, he'll definitely give a little nod to that.
Yeah, you can sense a sense of, like, he noticed everyone was dogpiling on you, and he's like trying to offer some type of support. He'll turn around and he'll just continue onward, saying his piece. Any other things that people want to say to each other or do as you travel?
I'll have one thing, but we can make it the last thing
Okay.
if anyone else has something to do.
Oh, and I will say, after your long rest, everyone except for Tarvik, you all feel your alignment. Before I mentioned it was more of an RP thing, like your alignment felt less good. You feel that has reverted and reset back to normal. You feel more good, like you were before.
Oh, nice. Roland, I broke the scrying mirror.
What?
I broke the scrying mirror.
I fish out the scrying mirror, which apparently we haven't used in quite a while.
We hadn't, but you definitely knew it was broken, I believe.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, you found out it was
Yeah.
broken, but
Oh, never
Cassandra
mind.
did not
Never mind.
admit to it then. She was like, oh, I guess it just broke.
It's okay. It's okay, really. We'll find another way to scry.
Maybe
I've actually been
Michael
trying to
Dune can
learn that
fix it?
spell.
Oh,
Who
cool.
do you think so?
Michael Dune? Maybe he can fix it.
And maybe. How's Alan Bear? I'm gonna look around for Alan Bear.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Perception. I'm good at that. I'm okay at that.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
You see him, and you can tell that he is intentionally following you guys. Again, you see him darting in between the trees. He's definitely staying a distance, but you can tell he's still with you guys.
I'm gonna take like a pouch of rations and try and chuck it. Or actually, who's strongest? Tarvik. Chuck this pouch of rations to Owlbear.
Okay. I'll give it a chuck.
Okay. You go ahead and chuck it. Go ahead and just roll me athletics. How far you chuck it? Yeah, very good.
18.
You chuck it the distance appropriately to where he's kind of kept himself away from, so it lands roughly where he is, and he actually, you see Roland, he stops and he like starts sniffing the bag, looks up at you guys as you continue moving away, and takes a moment to just eat. He's ravaged, and he like just pierces into it and opens it up quickly, scarfs it down, looks up towards you guys, and tries to make pace again.
He'll catch up. He's fine. Was there like, this is dumb, but like, was there any leftovers from the horses that he could have eaten or something like that?
Too late now.
We killed a
Right
lot of
now.
horses there.
That's way behind, though.
I know, but we could have had a snack before he joined us. I don't know. Very sad.
You'll see Cassandra like start practicing with her swords, and you notice she's like even faster now.
Very nice.
That's cool.
Go ahead and take inspiration for that nod to the level up.
Thank you. Roland says something really smart. It pisses you all
Go
off.
ahead and take inspiration.
Worst
Anyone else
inspiration
showing off their skills?
Nope.
Rita actually does have a thing to do, which is a 1-hour ritual to turn pick into her packed weapon. So she does that, which I think is, I mean, given all of this, I think that is, it's a little bit of like playing, just playing pick, and
He's back in tune.
yep, that's good. But like I think as she's playing, like with each like, and this takes like an hour, so it's a very like gradual process. With each like pluck of the string and like vibration, that for as long as it holds, the shadows of the strings begin to sort of like grow, and like as they vibrate, they just expand, and over the course of an hour, they expand to cover the entirety of pick, which is already a very dark instrument, turning it like, completely shadowy black, and that same sort of shadow comes up her fingers, comes up her arms, and sort of, I think, reaches all the way up to her eyes, which turn to their compound pitch form by the end of it. And as that happens, they're just a little bit closer at the end of that.
Very nice. You'll hear from Pick. He says, "Ooh, I like this." Yeah, you're not too bad.
Did he say too bad?
You're not too bad.
Okay. Too bad, I'm leaving now. Bye.
See ya. Yeah, fantastic. Love that. Inspiration for the wonderful description. And actually, I should have worded this way earlier, but Tarvik, inspiration for dealing with my dream that I gave you. Wonderful RP.
Multiple dream. Yeah. Thank you.
So Rita communed a bit. You fed the owlbear and you're keeping track of it. So I'm just practicing a little bit with the swords. Anybody else want to do anything before we go to Tarvik's thing that he wants to do? That's cool.
Nope.
Okay. Alright, Tarvik, what did you want to do?
As you said, it was probably going to take like a day, a little bit longer. As we maybe stop for the last kind of long rest before we get to Duras, Tarvik's gonna switch his spells around a little bit, and prepare a spell that he has never prepared before. He is going to prepare Sending,
Oh. Yeah.
and yeah, and Tarvik's gonna send a singular message. He's gonna send this to Lily, his daughter.
Oh.
Before he gets to Duras. The message, I'll put it in the chat as well, but he'll say,
Perfect.
kind of off to the side, trying to get away from everybody else who would be definitely prying ears. Would just say, it's probably too late. If you're still here, this would be the time to say. Otherwise, I'll take the chance to get you back.
Can you type that and send it to me? Either Roll20 chat or
I'll
Discord.
I'll put it. I was supposed to say I'll put it in the Roll20 chat.
Yeah.
Gotta put some quotes around it. There you go.
And go ahead and roll a stealth as you intentionally try and make this hard to hear.
Oh yeah. I'm so good with stealth. Harvick, excellent stealth person. 6.
Okay. So all of you hear this. With just your passive, you notice that Tarvik is trying to kind of make himself a little bit smaller, go off to the side like he mentioned, and he like whispers something, and you notice a familiar casting of the hand movement, just kind of like as if he's typing mid-air or like gesturing mid-air very slightly, and he starts to mumble words. You are able to hear his message. And Tarvik, did you? Oh yes, you did. Perfect. Okay.
I put it. Yeah, I just put it in the main chat.
This would be the time to say. Otherwise, I'll take the chance to do that. You do hear a response, Tarvik.
Ooh. Okay.
You hear in a cracked, hoarse, exhausted voice. Dad. And you hear like a catch of the breath. And you've definitely heard your daughter in distress. You know, anytime she's like fallen when she was a child, or, you know, she saw something sad and she would cry towards you. She definitely, you feel the distress in her voice. Go ahead and make me an insight check, actually, because your bond is so strong.
Yeah. Insight?
Wow.
27.
She is like, you know, something bad has happened to her, just based on her reaction. She's not just sad. She's not just tired. She's in pain. And you know that by her response, she has been through things. You hear in her voice. I'll give you with that insight.
Okay. And that's all I get?
That's
Just
all
that?
you get.
Okay.
You can tell that it was a hard time getting out the words. Like she was struggling a little bit.
It's completely fair. I think Harvick, who was like fairly certain, I would say, like internally, Tarvik had put like the odds at like 90%, right? Like he would hear nothing. So like hearing anything, I think Tarvik doesn't know what to do with it for like half a second, just kind of like stands there. And then he's just gonna step off of the wagon for a little bit. And just kind of like, I don't know how fast this wagon is moving too, That might be part of it as well.
Pace. So if you step off, it will be a dexterity save for a low amount of like rolled ankle damage.
Yeah, that's fair. I would definitely do that. It was more so that like, am I going to be able to keep up with it once I'm on the ground? But
well,
I
that's
think
a reaction. Maybe people will say something, and maybe the thing will be stopped. Because
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I'll make a dexterity check first.
Great.
Oh, yep.
You do roll your ankle.
Roll my ankle immediately.
You take 1 point of damage as you roll your ankle, and you're like, ah, that stings. Tarvik just hops off.
Doesn't help that he's wearing. Yep.
Yeah, you heard him mumble what he mumbled, a familiar casting of sending that you guys are familiar with, and then he just hops off.
Whoa, Jack, slow down the cart.
Oh,
no, it's okay.
And he stops the cart.
I'll hop off. Tarvik, no, go away.
Tarvik, without facing back, I think without facing back, he's just gonna reach out his kind of hand behind and say, "No, I'll catch up in a second." To me.
I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on Tarvik.
That's a good call. Wow. Tarvik will absolutely allow that. But Tarvik is gonna like step back a little bit and just like try to get away from the general population for a little bit.
Okay.
What's his face? Jack looks towards you guys and he's like, so what's happening here? What is he doing? Or, in his voice,
10-minute potty
what's
break.
He doing?
Potty break. We're taking a 10-minute potty break.
I was sending that he did.
Okay.
Frida just like blurts out. I think she can recognize this one.
Who do you think he sent to? Would he ask if they're still alive? Or
I mean, we know. I honestly I don't know what we know about Tarvik and his daughter. I think we know that his wife is dead, and I think we know that he was looking for his daughter.
You do know that.
Yeah.
There's a man that kidnapped her. And when I scryed on the man and I broke the mirror, sorry, we saw him at the orphanage. You remember that one girl that kicked the guy's balls and it was funny and she was really like energetic? Yeah, she was bad. She was giving him information for lollipops.
I don't know if that makes her bad, but yeah.
But she's giving him, let's see. One hand missing. Okay. He told her good work, and she said it's been hard because they've been increasing security and telling them not to go out. And he told her she's doing a very good job and she can get more candy. But it was the bad guy. It was the kidnapper guy, and he's telling her to do stuff, and she's doing it. What if he's kidnapping more children?
The same guy that kidnapped Tarvik's daughter.
That's who we scryed on, yeah.
And he's in the city, and okay.
That's why we're going there.
Right. Okay. And he was just gonna walk away?
Yeah.
And now he has a chance to get her. I am confused.
Me too.
But he was just gonna let us think that he was giving up? He wasn't gonna tell us any of this? Start like yelling.
He said he was gonna tell you when we got to Duras. And I told him I'd keep a secret, but I don't think I can. Well, obviously not.
Obviously.
I think it was the right thing to do to tell you.
Yeah, no, good.
As we pause in this trio, we're having this conversation. Tarvik, what are you doing?
Tarvik is I don't know if he feels he's hunter's marked or not, but he is going to kind of we'll go back in time a little bit. He's like here, he's holding his hand back. He kind of starts walking diagonal over to here, and is just gonna make his way over like here-ish, behind this tree. And he is going to basically just kind of slouch back against the tree, fall down, and just let his emotions run wild for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like the best he can. He's definitely like trying to keep his voice down. He's covering his mouth, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, he's definitely crying. He's taking a minute to like think about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things just happening inside of him all at once.
Oh yeah.
So it's probably, I mean, it's probably a good 15 or 20 minutes before he would come back to the cart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
In
probably
that
about the
time,
last, maybe,
go ahead.
oh yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say the last 2 or 3 minutes is like him more or less like trying to make himself look normal and like um like this is kind of a weird thing, but like look like he wasn't crying for the last little bit.
Oh yeah.
Um
Yep.
and just kind of like psyching himself up a little bit, maybe punching the tree a little bit, getting his anger up, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Um, in that time that Tarvik is kind of trying to collect himself, we go back to the conversation on the wagon. You guys can continue.
That's why I even asked him to stay with us until we went to the orphanage, and he said no.
Maybe being close to his goal has made him scared of what he'll find.
Tarvik doesn't get scared.
He just doesn't tell us anything. He just doesn't let us in. He just doesn't tell us anything. He's just gonna walk away. He's gonna walk into our lives. And he's gonna walk out of our lives. And he's not gonna tell us. And maybe he has a good reason, but God damn, it's infuriating.
Yeah, it is. Should we... Rita, you know how you can read people's minds?
Oh boy. I know the save for that. We'll see about that.
Well, I mean, I can get surface thoughts. You can't stop me from getting surface thoughts.
Maybe if he doesn't answer when he gets back, maybe we do that.
I don't know if I even want to know. I don't even if he's not gonna tell us.
What do you think, Roland?
He's obviously. What now?
What do you think?
I think he's obviously going through a hard time. Let's give him, a minute to finish taking his poop, and then we'll just take one step at a time emotional poop, and let's do one step at a time, and get to Duras, get to the orphanage, and we'll move forward from there. If he doesn't want to join us, we're not gonna. Obviously, we can't force him, but hopefully he will, and we'll be alright.
Tarvik, can you make me a stealth check, please, as you are trying to contain your emotional poop?
Right. I know because I'm still wearing heavy armor. I know normally I have to make stealth with disadvantage.
No.
Would you say that this could just be a normal stealth?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think the I mean also I would say Cassandra, you would know with Hunter's Mark, I'm just right behind the tree like that whole time.
Yeah.
So there's that too. 20.
Nice.
Very good. You're keeping it as well contained as anyone could after hearing that their daughter is alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
So, is there anything you want to add?
I was just gonna say after I everything happens and that time passes. A couple deep breaths, getting himself ready. Back into Palm Tarvik, and let's start coming back around the tree.
Perfect. So you see Calm Tarvik here. Go ahead and make a performance check, Tarvik, as you contained your noises and your emotions back there. But now it's time for performance.
Yeah, I'm going to say this is a disadvantage just because, but
Perfect.
7.
So you can describe how you kind of come up to them, what you say, how you act. But you guys know that after talking a few minutes and after waiting for a bit, Tarvik comes back in this state.
Yeah, I would say, I think with a 7, you could, like, most of your passive perceptions would probably notice, like, parts of Tarvik's, like, knuckles would probably be cut up a little bit from, like, hitting the tree a couple of times a little bit too hard. And definitely, best you can hide it, like, he's clearly not crying currently, but, like, definitely still looks like his eyes are red, still kind of looks a little bit puffier than you would normally expect Tarvik to be.
Hey, you know we're your friends, right?
Sure. I'm sorry. I had to take a bathroom break.
And you know, as friends, we tell each other things and help each other out.
Yes. So is this the way you're saying that you were already told, or are going to tell them about the scrying mirror?
I told
Tarvik?
them. Also,
Oh, okay.
Tarvik?
when yeah,
Tarvik.
go ahead, Jacob.
Mhm.
You need to explain what is going on with you right now.
A lot of things are going on with me.
I just can't. Or
You just can't?
I can't. You can walk out and I will just not grieve or think or care about you ever again. What are you doing?
I think I have to stay.
Agreed. You should stay.
At least for now. At least
I
until it's
remember
done.
why I thought the girl was bad. She was missing one eye and one hand. We're looking for an eye and
Oh,
a hand.
yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that is
That's really
it
suspicious.
is a bad sign, but I still don't know if that means that she's bad. It just means she's associated with bad people, which we already knew. Well,
But
now
what if she's
we
the
know
whispered one?
now. And that is
I don't
influenced by
feel like
candy
the child
bribes.
is-
Maybe it was he was reincarnated, and now he's a little girl. He's got to grow up, and we can kill him while he's young.
I don't think that's it.
Or
I mean,
it's
he
just
could
an
be
abused and
anyone.
Oh.
He could
Yeah.
be an old guy.
Could have been Sammy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy had
been-
2 eyes and a hand, 2 hands.
Could just be like a
Natural.
weird
True.
old guy that just keeps coming, or tables. Maybe he's a table.
That'll be
Rita
easy to kill.
is Rita is still just staring at Tarvik as the conversation has shifted topic. And
Yeah,
he
Torvik is
just
actively trying not to look at Rita,
ignored
and like
Rita. Yeah.
just every so often, Tarvik just looks over it, like makes eye contact with Rita, and then looks away immediately.
The Tarvik does get scared.
I don't think that's yeah. Tarvik does get scared of social interaction.
Yeah.
Good job.
Wow.
Ah,
Well, I'm glad you're staying.
for now,
Yeah.
at least until I find her.
Okay. See, Rita, it's okay. He's staying.
Rita is still like mad and yeah.
Rita, it's really not good to hold your anger in. Apparently, it's good to release your emotions.
You want to be slapped again? Is that what I'm hearing?
Cassandra just face palms.
Yeah.
You hear Jack go, "Oh, so dudes, are we ready to go now?"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. And he'll continue driving. You guys pass a day and go to sleep. So you have another long rest under your belt. You can go ahead and click that button. And in the morning, as the sun is rising,
No, wrong.
actually, before you guys wake up, Tarvik,
Yeah.
you are amongst sand yet again, and the table is actually still broken. As you approach the old man, who once again is sitting, has his tea on his lap as he sips, quietly looking towards you. And he opens his hand, a gesture to sit the seat across from him with the broken table in the middle. It seems as if there is a divide with the charred pieces of the table that's cracked.
I will sit once again, amicably.
You sit once again as he takes a sip of his tea. Hello again. Our time before was so abruptly ended.
It was, and I can see the reason. Can I look around real quick? Do I see another storm on the horizon anywhere?
You see a storm is brewing from behind you again, though it is distant, but it is making its way towards you.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like, based on this, so you've had 3 interactions thus far. You're noticing a pattern. It seems that there's a bit of time where your time with him is uninterrupted, and then the storm over time is able to make its way closer towards you, and able to, from the last interaction at least, able to intercede. Depending on a few factors, but
yeah,
that's what you gather.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So I've done some thinking, obviously.
Wonderful. Do we have a deal then? And he outstretches his hand.
I don't think we do. I think I have to do this myself.
You can see he clenches his outstretched hand a bit and then withdraws. Yourself, you say. Do you think you have the power that I do?
Certainly not. Oh, again, certainly not. And honestly, the fact that a certain deity kind of just say a little bit too loud to the storm behind me seems to be less friendly with you. Almost makes it that you would be a friend. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, sort of thing. But I don't trust you. I understand what you're trying to get at. I know what you're trying to do in some way. I just don't understand why. I don't understand my importance in it. So there's that. I think I have to do this myself. Honestly, I don't think I could live with myself. I don't think I can live with myself knowing what's happened so far. I don't think I could live with myself if I took this deal. I just don't. For now, I feel like I have to do it myself. Possibly with a small amount of help, but not friendly help. Again, too loud to the storm behind.
Yeah. You hear the old man say in response, "You hit upon a true sentiment there. Trust is hard, of course, but the enemy of my enemy." You can see he ponders a bit in the air with his face. What an apt saying. Many, and he looks towards the clouds brewing behind you pointedly, think poorly of me as a god, because I promise mortals a way to ease their suffering. The other divines don't remember suffering as I do. Unlike them, and again he looks off into the distance, I used to be immortal. My compassion for those on the material plane is why they damn me and create false rumors. Can you imagine a god that actually provides instead of providing vague visions and all too common platitudes? That would make them look bad. So here I am, disdained, stripped of my power, and misunderstood by the world. It seems you too
I'm sure.
have fallen to misunderstanding and distrust. But I say, over time, those that have seen through the lies know of the great things that I am capable of. Those that have seen through the lies have joined in restoring me to power, so I can fulfill my promises to them and bring the necessary change to the world filled with so much hatred, frivolities, and all too sudden endings. And you see in your mind an image of your wife and your daughter. The same image that you once thought of before in the previous dream. And he says, I understand your hesitance and that you have yet to see through the lies. But I trust that you'll think on this more. And you may think of me, if you wish, to continue our agreement and finalize. I'll be here. And he just kind of smiles at you warmly with kind eyes and says, well, I will take my leave before. And he just kind of lets that linger. And then he just kind of gets up, sets down his tea on the chair, and then slowly walks away into the sands and drifts away into nothingness. You are alone with the sands at this point in time. Do you want to do anything?
I wanted to, before he left, I would just be like, just like to say one thing and just say, I'm sure all I'll have to do, I guess, is whisper your name.
Do you make that very pointed?
Yes, I make that very pointed.
He just smiles. You can see him with his warm smile as he turns around after you say that and continues walking and then fades away. When he disappears, do you wish to do anything while you're alone?
In this moment, I'll just turn around.
The storm
Just
has gotten
turn and
closer.
face this. Yeah, I figured. I'll. I think I don't think Jarvik will walk towards the storm, but he will at least face the storm. And just kind of, again, maybe not yelling this time, but just to him, loud enough, I guess, that he hopes the storm hears, and say, "Ah, well, you hear that? You happy with that? Better be. Do you know where I'm going? And you know that I'm gonna, I don't know, probably not make it out of that storm."
The storm continues to make its way towards you, rumbling. Go ahead and make a... This time, go ahead... what is this one going to be? Go ahead and make a wisdom save for this one.
Okay. 16.
Okay. As the storm approaches towards you, you see that immense amount of thunder and lightning, crackling, thundering all around you as it then begins to pour over you. This time, however, the rain stings a little bit. Go ahead and make a constitution save for me. 15. Very good. You only take 2 points of psychic damage, as the rain this time, again, seems just stings just ever so slightly as the rain continues and goes into a deluge, just absolutely pouring down, raining. You see a lightning bolt strike into the sky, and almost as if there was a face behind in the clouds, smiling.
Oh,
And
okay.
as the clouds light up with that almost looking face, you are woken up, and everyone actually wakes up. Again, you have that long rest, and as you wake up in the morning, you actually notice that you have stopped moving, and you notice that you are in a line of sorts. At the gates of Duras. You have made it, it seems, to the outskirts. And it seems like there is a long queue of people awaiting to get in. It seems like you're behind roughly, I don't know, like 40 or so people. There's quite a bit of a line ahead of you, and there are starting to be a line behind you of all different types of people. Some with wagons, some with bags, some look very tired, some look fresh. As you're kind of sitting around here, oh my god, why do I keep forgetting his name? Jack looks back towards you as you all stir awake and says, "Oh, finally, you guys are awake. Alright, well, just to let you know, guys, we're just waiting. We'll be in Duras soon, dudes."
We don't have to wait, do we? We just have to. I mean, we just have to get a hold of the colonel, and we can go through. Right? She can tell us where to go.
Dude is not gonna be at the gate.
Well, no, I mean, don't worry about that, my friend.
He
I
just
look for
stays there.
Alan Bear.
Yeah, so interesting enough, go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have that as advantage.
Advantage?
Normal.
Normal.
No,
six.
just normal.
So not
Sorry.
interesting enough. Sorry.
Six.
You don't see Alan Bear.
I don't see Alan
no.
Bear.
No, let me look.
Can I? Yeah, I was going to say, can I look for Alvin Bear?
Absolutely. You hear the sadness in Roland's voice. I don't see him.
Nope. I see less than Roland.
The
Yeah.
dog pile.
Actually, I see more than Roland, but
Oh,
only
gosh.
slightly.
Cassandra, you notice some rustling in the tree line But you don't actually see an owlbear. You just see some rustling.
No, maybe he's staying away from all the people. But I see some rustling. It's just, I don't know if it's him.
Oh, you're right. I bet if we can pull him out, that we'll get straight to the front of the line.
I don't think that is a good idea. How about I'll get a hold of the colonel.
Oh yeah, you can cast sending now.
I think Lydia's in this line.
I mean, I could always cast sending.
Oh yeah, the other
I
soldiers.
don't know what you're talking about.
Go ahead and make a perception check if you want to see that. Or if you want to check to see if Lydia's there. And Tarvik, if you want to do sending, can you send me the text as well?
Yes. Do you mind if I just put it in general, or would you rather it sent just to you?
Oh no, it's fine. Do whatever.
Okay.
I just need the text for my notes and also to process what a good reply will be, because I'm a visual person. Fair. Sometimes when you guys talk in sending, I'm like, shoot, what did they say? Because I'm like trying to process the response. All right, so while you think of that and type that up for me, Roland, you look for Lydia and you do not see her towards the front or the back. However, you do perceive a lot of conversation around you, and there is a wide variety of topics being discussed in a manner of tones. So you'll hear first a what appears to be a farmer that is roughly like 3 people ahead of you is talking to another, looks to be a farmer, and they have kind of like their pitchforks, and you can see they have a few knives kind of hanging along their belt, a little bit unusual, from farmers. And you can hear you can pick up their conversation, and the one farmer says to the other, "Oh man, I heard a few teams were sent to Vermilion. One of the teams hasn't come back yet, poor bastards." And you hear the other guy say, "Well, what are you gonna do? Nobody that went up there came back, so I guess unlucky." And the other farmer goes, "Whatever, what are you gonna do? So many people disappearing nowadays." You hear behind you what appears to be younger, maybe in their 20-ish humans, and they have like backpacks, so it appears like they've been traveling a little while. And one of them is a woman, one of them is a man, and they're both human. The man looks over to the woman and says, "Do you think it's gonna be safe? I mean, it might be safer if you just go back to Waterdeep." And you hear the woman says, "Yeah, I know. I can't believe we're visiting family up here right now. You know the bard, Ed Sheeran? He's performing for free in Waterdeep to bring public morale up. I mean, it's like a free setup. I mean, oh, man, I think we're going to miss it if we stay here for a while. I mean, with all the increase in sickness and the missing people, it's really nice what he's doing. Like, I haven't gone to see him ever, but oh man, this was the opportunity." And the man says, "Yeah, I know, God. Well, I mean, we'll stay here for a little bit, we'll see family, and maybe if we're lucky we can go a little early back home, and I'll take you to that concert." And she goes, "Yes, okay, love you." And she gives him a hug. You also hear right in front of you, there appears to be 2 people who are pretty well dressed, and they're both male. They both look to be human, and they're talking about the politics in Waterdeep, which you are kind of familiar with. You hear him say, "Yeah, I mean, the houses are vying for power. I mean, man, what a show." And you hear the other one go, "I mean, with no heir and a war, the royal house is weak. I mean, we know it, they know it." And you hear the other guy scoff and just kind of chuckle. "I guess we'll see. It's a show." And then you hear two behind you. There are two guys talking. They're a little bit older, and they're a little scruffy. Again, they look to be human. And one says to the other, "Man, these kids nowadays. You hear? There's a new drug epidemic happening. It's all over here, it's all over here now." And you hear the other guy respond, "Drugs? I mean, yeah, you got that devil weed everywhere, but not a big issue." And you hear the other guy, the first one, say, No, devil weed, that's child's play now. I'm talking about dust and rock. You hear that?" And the other guy says, "No, what's that?" And the first guy responds, "Well, apparently, the kids got a hold of something. I don't know. The weird name's Dust and Rock, but they I don't know. They get energy. They get stronger, but then they just get hooked. It's really sad. You see them wandering around. It's a shame. What are the kids doing nowadays? You got a war. You got drugs. God, this place is going to a shithole." And then that's about it, about what you hear. There's a lot of conversation happening around you as you kind of try and hone in. Tarvik, what is your sending?
My sending, which I will say out loud now, is Colonel. This is Death's Witness. We are trying to make our way into the city. Can you let us in now, please?
You hear from the colonel. Yes. Go ahead. We have new policies in place. You have to go through them. Come to me when you come through.
Okay.
No help.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll say she was not very helpful, and so gives a shrug. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess we wait.
Or just go to Bernolder.
No.
I
No.
think we
Check out
want to
that
look at the
orphanage.
orphanage.
I look right. I look right at Rita with angry eyes and say no.
We could
I
go
do-
around the wall to like Mr. Magic Michael's Dune Tower and just like hop the wall over there. I feel like
Mhm.
it's a thing we could do.
I was about to say if Cassandra is willing to lend me that ring again, I bet I could probably just jump over the wall. So there's
Just
that.
a leaping half work. No biggie.
How
Yeah.
tall is the wall?
Yeah, how tall? That's a good question. How tall is the wall?
I think Tarvik probably could leap over. I forget what I mentioned it one time offhand. It was like I don't know, what is a normal wall for a city back in
20
the day?
feet,
Like
right?
20? Yeah.
It could be bigger, but sure.
Well, it's like a city wall. It's like concrete. So it's probably a foot thick, or stone. It's probably stone. So a foot thick. Yeah, maybe like 20, 30 feet. But Tarvik, you can jump really high. So you
Yeah, I
could
was gonna say,
probably get over it.
if I could borrow the ring, or use it, I could jump 21 feet off of the ground.
Yeah, so
And I could grab something 31 feet up, so I could easily probably get over the wall.
I can get myself and one other person in pretty easily too.
You do notice that the line isn't taking long. It's just there was a queue when you came up.
Well, then if it's not
now-
taking long, I feel like
Yeah. Sorry, maybe I should have specified. There was a line. It's not taking forever. There are people coming through. It's just... So the reason why I said there was a line is setting up the environment and the fact that there has been an increase in defenses. That was the point of it.
okay. Yes. I thought it was like, oh, we're gonna be in line all day, so we
No,
better
no.
find a way
Yeah,
to sneak.
I thought it was like
quickly.
refugees like swarming the entrance and.
Welcome to
Yeah.
customs.
Yeah, welcome to customs. No. A smaller brother of customs, not as big.
A little TSA check.
Yeah, this is pre-check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean tops you'll wait like 10 minutes.
Let's just wait, y'all. I mean, you can
Okay.
swing if you want to, but
I mean, you can definitely go
I mean,
the route you're going. I just foresee some encounters. So
Yeah.
Oh,
I wanted
that-
to make
that
sure I
is
had
fair.
my intent clear, that this was not a intentional obstacle that I put in front of you guys. I wanted
mean-
to make sure I made that clear.
On principle. We've done all this stuff for the city, and they're gonna make us wait. I think we should just get over there. It's not difficult for us to do that. We should just do.
Well, I also feel like it'd be easier to get Alan Bear in if we don't go through the front gate.
we get Alan
Maybe-
Bear over the wall.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe
I-
I definitely cannot get Alan Bear in, but I think if everyone else waits and maybe you get Alan Bear in.
Yeah, I
that
think
could
I
help.
might be able to. Is
I can get
DM just
Alan Bear in.
DM in? How big is Alan Bear? Is he a large creature?
He's like a teenage owlbear.
Oh, okay. So
Is he a
Owlbears
medium
are
creature?
Pretty big. Yeah, he's a medium. Let's look this up. I don't know how big an owlbear is.
I can
I
I
can-
can only
large. Yeah.
I can
I
dimension
can
door a medium
probably-
creature.
I can probably
Okay.
get him in.
Okay.
Mhm.
I can
I-
can polymorph him into a creature that we can get in.
How long
I
will that
feel like we're
last?
doing this.
Or I could polymorph him into a Tyrannosaurus.
Hmm.
Both would probably work.
I'm
How
now
long does it last?
I'm now realizing maybe the policies are not like around the Gloomers and were around the fact that wasn't there like a panther that was loose in the city a while ago?
Yeah, there was.
Oh, there was. Yeah, we never really figured that out.
Yeah, maybe
It's
that
up
was
to
the
1
reason.
hour.
Okay. Well, I feel like it's important that we get Alan Bear immediately into Mr. Magic Michael Dune's tower and not just let him like be scared in the streets, because I feel like people are going to attack him and be mean to him, and I don't want anything to happen to Alan Bear. Also there?
I totally agree with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it is an
Let's
hour.
polymorph him.
So yeah,
It's an hour.
I can go do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go look for Alan Bear.
All right. You guys,
Oh, this is
you guys
I'll
hop
help
off.
since I saw the rustling in the forest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe we should have someone like hold our place in line.
yeah. Gil's got that, or Jack rather. Jack and Gil got that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so Jack and Gil are on the cart, so you guys can easily just hop off. So all of you hop off?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
Okay. You guys go towards the area that Cassandra saw some rustling, and go ahead and make either investigation or perception checks to try and find Alan Bear. You can also make survival if you want.
Investigation.
Much better rolls. All of you are able to spot a form that is hiding behind some shrubs that is furry and reminds you of the furry white fur of an owlbear. You can see him hiding.
So I got no shot at being able to speak to this owl bear, and like him actually understanding what I'm going to do. So I am going to just pull out a bit of food, a ration, and I'm gonna approach Alan Bear, and I'm gonna just kind of like coo at him, try to get him to come out and like come and get the ration. I hold it out.
Mhm. Go ahead and make a animal handling check
Yeah.
as you reach out.
I'm gonna spend my inspiration on this. I feel like I need to.
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
Yep. And animal handling is a button that I have somewhere on my character sheet. It's the second one.
Oh, look at that.
There we go.
You start cooing. Go ahead and describe this. This is an absolute success.
Okay, so Rita is just holding out is gonna like sort of squat down a little bit and hold out the ration, and she starts cooing, and then she like hoots a little bit as the owl bear sort of I don't know, like kind of waddles up. I kind of imagine like like elephant just kind of trotting is what I imagine. This is like a baby elephant trotting is what I'm imagining here. And Owlbear comes up. I'm sure he can just grab whatever ration I have and just eat it up in his beak. And as he does, I kind of reach around his like the back of his like neck and scritch him on his neck through his feathers. And as I'm doing that, well, I guess I just got to use pick at this point. So because it's a VSM. I give him his scritches, and then like I stand up. Maybe he's just sitting there looking for more food for a second, and I pull out pick and I play a song, and hold on.
Holding.
My chihuahua, and I turn him into a chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Oh my gosh. Amazing. You guys see this unfold before you. A true spectacle. As the owlbear transforms into the chihuahua, you can see he kind of looks around like frantically. With the change of perception that he now sees is very different than his normal. He used to be a lot bigger, and now he's just looking up at you. You can see he's doing the chihuahua shake.
All right, I just pick him up and I'm like, okay, we gotta, we should go before this reverts.
He licks you.
Aw.
Yes. I'm happy.
Alright, we gotta go straight to Mr. Magic Michael Dune now. I know the Colonel said not to, but it's important.
Yep, this is
Right
this
to
is
his
more
tower.
important. Yep.
And if he's not home, we'll just leave him there until he gets. Sorry.
Amazing.
we can
Yes,
do
I
a
think it's a
magic
good idea
mouth.
that we'll leave the untrained owl bear in his room alone.
Mhm.
That's a good idea.
Nothing can go wrong.
Nothing can go wrong.
Nothing.
Oh my, Mr. Magical Dude is such like a sad person. It's gonna make him so happy, you guys. He's gonna have this like
I
this
know.
wonderful
It-
past.
He's gonna
lonely
feel
and-
emotions that he's definitely never felt before.
That's amazing.
Yes.
All right, so I think this is a good point to end.